Waterfowl presents Behind the Blind Podcast.
Welcome back to Behind the Blind here in North Dakota. Sponsored by Double TT British Kennels. Corey from Double T has been importing dogs from Great Britain for over 20 years. They have superior bloodlines. They're great in the field. They're great.
You can look over and read that.
Well, it looks weird when I'm off camera doing that, you know. They're top-of-the-line dogs are proven in the field in major trials. Learn more at britlabs.com and tell them that Heartland Waterfowl sent you. We used 2 of Corey's dogs today. We used 2 of Corey's dogs all year long. And they did a good job finding those field gaddies for us this morning.
Grizzies.
So we're back up in North Dakota for 4 days here. We had our first hunt this morning. It rained all day yesterday. Our first day scouting, we scouted all day yesterday. It rained all day on us yesterday. We kind of got the lay of the land. Found a couple of good spots. Found a lot of people. There's a lot of hunters around, it's a good thing. It's just the birds are kind of in pockets. They're kind of spread out. And basically what we did this morning was just take care of the conditions. And I guess I can introduce everybody. This is the rat, Everett Adkins. We got Dakota and Q behind the cameras, and I am Logan Burditt. I'm filling in for the one Ronnie Phillips who could not make the trip this week.
Unfortunately.
So yeah, hunt recap today. What did we do?
Shot the Grizzies.
We did. We shot a bunch of field Gadwalls.
Greasy Grizzies.
A pleasant, I guess you could say a pleasant surprise this morning.
Yeah.
We were taking advantage of the strong 15 to 20 mile an hour northwest winds this morning and running a little traffic because we could not get on the X. And it worked. We were, I think, expecting to shoot some mallards, but we shot, I think, 1 mallard and a couple Gadwall or a couple widgeon and literally a pintail and a pile of Gadwalls. It seemed like the Gadwalls were breaking out of the groups pretty easy this morning, and we could usually break a single or pair off the group of the main feed that was feeding a field over that was impossible to try to figure out who owned. And we hunted right on the property line on the northwest corner, and it was in a swath barley field that just been baled, and it worked out. We took advantage of the conditions, and we made the best of it, and we were done by 9 o'clock this morning. So couldn't ask for anything more other than the fact that we got on the X.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, we been watching that field, for a day and trying to figure out who owned it, and it was literally impossible, and we finally figured it out tonight. Knocked on 3 or 4 doors and figured out what was going on, and long story short, that's what we get to do in the morning is we get to go hunt basically the X.
Yeah.
Guaranteed green beans?
I can't guarantee you anything. We got a 5 mile an hour south wind tomorrow, which means 0.
We were talking about that in the truck on our scout tonight too. Maybe if the wind would have backed out maybe a little bit more, maybe those mallards would have played a little bit better today. But
yeah, I don't know. It's just one of those things where you can't do what we did today if the wind wasn't blowing like it was. Like you're not going to pull those birds over across that field. It's more like the wind was pushing those birds over top of us. They were making a swing and the wind was pushing them downwind, and we were able to catch. We were just breaking off pairs. Like we finished maybe one group of 5 or 6 this morning, Gadwalls. But you got to understand that you're not going to get the entire groups right. You're going to miss a lot of birds. You're going to have to be patient and wait and wait and wait. And we did. There was lulls there that we spent 10, 15 minutes trying to just scream our hearts out at ducks, with our calls. And
that's where I think it was just a smidge bit too much wind. Yeah, we need to wind, but it was almost like too much. Like you said, it was hanging them up over top of us.
Yeah, they were definitely sitting over top of us.
Yeah.
The mallards were seeing us pretty good over top. It was cloudy. They were picking
a little
us
bit
out.
less. I think they swing out a little bit wider.
Yep. Everything was wet. We were somewhat dry.
Yep.
So we try to make do with the best of it. And we were done by 9. I can't complain.
What I was telling Q2 whenever we were pulling out of the field is like we had like a little bit of concern the night before of like, okay, we're not exactly on the X and we're going to have to pull them. But with the number of birds that you saw, it's November. We're in North Dakota. We only have 4 freaking guys. Like, it was one of those things to where it was like, if we don't need a ton. We just need enough.
Yeah.
We had it. We pulled enough over.
Yeah.
They just hung up over us.
Yeah.
Give us 24.
Yeah.
Or 20 green. You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, and we had them. They just hung out over top of us and looked down in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we did the right thing. Just
Tomorrow we're not hunting that spot right next to it. We're actually hunting across the same body of water. But it was where the majority of them were yesterday morning. And I think what happened was they're on the, there's just a lot of ducks. They're on both sides, but the majority of them were over on the east side. We hunted over on the west side. We hunted the east side this morning. So I don't know. They were bouncing around all afternoon tonight. Finally figured out who.
they weren't using that slough this morning like they were yesterday morning either, were they? Off our back right shoulder.
Yes, they were. You just couldn't see them over that hill.
Yeah.
They were just sitting up against there. And then here's the other thing is the wind switched completely opposite directions. So they were probably sitting on that northwest side of that water this morning because of the strong wind. And tomorrow they're going to be sitting on that south point.
Yeah.
Because that wind's switching around tonight sometime.
Yeah, you go from a hard southeast wind scouting them to a hard northwest wind hunting them.
Changes it a little bit.
Changes it, yep.
Yeah.
And we got a south wind tomorrow?
Yeah, light. It says 5 mile an hour, so I'm assuming zero.
Zilch.
Hopefully no fog.
But we have sun.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the fogs might be an issue. We're going to be kind of close to the water, not incredibly close. So, yeah, fog might be an issue. But what do we got next?
Clips of the day.
Super unique today too. Only two guns at a time. That doesn't happen very often on a Heartland trip.
No, we usually have at least 4.
Yeah, at least.
I thought that was a good little gentleman's hunt this morning.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
fun.
it was fun. It's not what we wanted. We wanted the green beans, but I'm not mad at all about sitting there.
Wanted the
shooting a bunch
green
of
beans,
grizzlies.
Ronnie.
Oh, yeah.
Everett wants the green beans.
Hey.
He's talking like Ronnie now.
Yeah,
If
he
nothing
is.
else, Ronnie missed out on the trip that literally is like right up his alley where we said, screw the snows, we don't want to mess with those. we just want to play with ducks. And Ronnie's not here. It's so funny.
Next year, Ronnie, we're going for snows.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Be
Yeah.
careful what you boys wish for. We might luck into those on Wednesday with the strong
Hey,
wind.
I'm in. I'm in for the right time.
All right, you guys ready for clips of the day?
Yep.
Yeah. Kill him, Everett. Got him that time. It was too easy. It was. Kill him. Almost got 3. You want me to take him? Yeah. I'm killing him. Drake mallard. Kill him. Man, I hit that thing 3 times. 2. Kill those 2.
Kill the one.
Kill the 1.
Front. Kill him. Is it him?
Kill him.
Is it him? Oh, no audio on that one.
No audio on that one.
No, it was like a little gentleman shoot. The wind was ripping, so it seemed like those birds were a lot closer, but your second shot, they're gone. They're out pretty quick. But, yeah, it was a fun morning. It's just a little bit different, like you said, when you have 2 guys shooting, and literally I shot my 6, swapped out with you, and then Everett finished his last 2 and then swapped out with Q, and we were off to the races after that. That was fun.
Mm-hmm. You could
We were still out of there by what, like 9:30?
Yeah.
Something like
Yeah,
that.
like I looked down at my watch after they shot the last 2, and it was like 8:56 or something
Yeah,
like that.
great morning. Great morning.
Can't beat it.
Yeah, especially for the rain. It wasn't really that muddy of a field. Obviously, we took the Honda in, and it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I thought it might be a muddy mess, but that rain stopped last night around 10, 11 o'clock, and then that wind was just ripping, so it dried. Overnight, it dried out a lot more than I thought it would.
I think we should tell people about what we did with the blinds last night. I think sometimes people overlook the importance of that. They just, even though it's raining, the field's going to be wet, they go and set their stuff out, even though their blinds have been in the trailer and they're dry.
Yep.
And us having the forethought to last night going and taking the blinds out, letting it rain on the blinds so that we blended in a little bit better. I think that played a huge part, and some people just don't think about that sometimes.
Yep. Leaving those out overnight or getting rain because obviously all your cover is going to be darker, way darker. Now, that was a little different this morning because the wind was blowing so hard. You saw some of that stuff dried out pretty quick. But in the past, we've even, taken those blinds and the panel blinds and just literally dunking them in water, right? Trying to find a puddle of water and dunking them in if it rains overnight and you're already asleep when it's raining and everything's wet, or taking a 5-gallon bucket.
Throwing
water on it the best you can.
You could carry a pump sprayer.
Yeah, it's not fun to dry it out by any means, and deal with all that wet stuff during the time. But it's a game changer when you can blend in that much better, because you stick out like sore thumb when you don't.
I mean, that's kind of to all elements too. You got snow coming and everything. Throw them out there, get some snow on them.
Right.
Yeah. Same thing with rain. But we sat out there and got them wet, and our blind dried at the same rate the grass did, because it sat out there when that wind started picking up in the overnight.
Yep.
Right. And if you're an HW fan, you can go back to, I think it was Tornado Alley last year. We hunted it was like day 2 or 3. We hunted the sheet water.
Real wet hunt.
And we had to dip the blind, all the blinds into that
Yep.
puddle that was right in front of us.
Made the difference, though.
Yep.
A little sheet water.
Literally made all the difference in the world.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the number one thing. Hide yourself. We literally picked that over being on the X 90% of the time if we have to do it. If we got to sit off the X a little bit and we're hitting a lot better, we're not sitting out in the middle of the field, whatever the case may be, if we can hide a little bit better, we're gonna take that option and run with it all day long over anything else. So, yeah, make sure you hide yourself. We even cut grass when we got done with the hunt today for tomorrow, just to have some extra, because we didn't felt like we were even hidden as well as we could have been this morning. So, next up, ducked up question.
Yes, sir.
You guys got that figured out?
Yeah.
All right. Hold on.
Go ahead.
The Ducked Up question, sponsored by Dirty Duck Coffee. If your coffee sucks, it ain't the duck. The preferred coffee of choice in the blind and around the breakfast table for Heartland Waterfowl and waterfowl hunters in every flyaway. Save on a variety of blends by using promo code HW10 at dirtyduckcoffee.com.
Go get the
For tomorrow, I expect you to have this memorized.
Okay. Okay. How about you do it tomorrow?
Yeah,
No,
that's it.
All you.
No.
I'll tell you
does
what.
the ad reads.
I'll tell you what. You have to read up a ducked up question for every bird you miss tomorrow.
It says
Every shot you take and you miss, new ducked up question for you.
It says send it to Q to read the question.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
But
every
the ad
time Q
read.
reads a question, you have to read that ad right there.
All right, y'all. Today's ducked up question is, and I know you know what it is, but Everett, do you know?
I don't know what it
Do
is.
you
I don't
know
know
what
what it
an
is.
Uncrustable is?
Oh,
An Uncrustable?
Yes.
yeah. My girls eat them all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've heard of them, but I don't know what
Okay,
it is.
so is an Uncrustable a sandwich or is it a ravioli?
What is an Uncrustable?
It's a
I mean,
It's a PB&J ravioli.
what's a That's not ravioli, dude. Ravioli is like
But
a
it
pasta.
looks like a ravioli.
It's a piece of bread with peanut butter and jelly
it's
over
just
it.
crimped.
Yeah,
it's bread
your
with the
mom
crust
crimping
cut off.
Those cookies of hers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
you're not wrong.
it's bread with the crust cut
you call
off
that
and then
cookie a-
pressed.
I don't know.
Hold on, time out. Have you guys ever taken an Uncrustable and put butter on it and then put it in the toaster?
No, I don't eat them. I give them to my daughters. I literally thaw them out and say, "Here you go."
Well, you should try it because it's fire.
No, I would take some ravioli, toasted ravioli. I'd
I
take
like
some of that.
too. Vis Italiano.
But that's not. There you go. I would take it from there
Plug.
for sure.
Plug.
But that's not ravioli, man. That's a sandwich.
Yeah.
Feels weird saying that though, too.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
That's why it's ducked up.
It's kind of a duck question.
Yeah, man. It's definitely not ravioli.
Not ravioli, just crimped edge.
Yeah.
Crimped edge sandwich.
Preferably, I'm just making my own peanut butter and jelly. Look, Everett's
Everett makes
been making every morning. Every morning, he's like, "What's an Uncrustable?" I make
making
that
them
shit
at night.
myself.
Have you seen
I don't cut the crust off my bread.
Here's what you do. You literally rip the crust off tomorrow morning, and you take a fork and you crimp those around every single side, and then you have an Uncrustable.
That
Now,
sounds more
the
like a
only
meal
difference is-
than a sandwich.
No,
That's a lot of work.
that's what an Uncrustable is. I'm trying to explain that to you since you don't know what it is.
I got you now.
Yeah. So, in hindsight, if you didn't want to make 2 peanut butter and jellies every morning like you've been doing on this trip, then what you do is you just buy 2 Uncrustables, and you can take those with you.
Have you seen the Shane Gillis?
Is that why you asked that? Because he's been making those in the morning?
No, I didn't even think about that.
It's just,
Oh,
it's
you
just
just had a random.
Hey,
Yeah,
you
just-
got to get your protein to start the morning.
Speaking of those, I saw some random thing that said like the NFL is like
Yeah.
a top consumer of Uncrustables, and like
Yeah.
the Denver Broncos eat like 500 of them a week or something. It's like grown men eating Uncrustables.
Well, Metcalf only eats like candy is like his diet.
No wonder he hasn't come back yet.
Yeah.
He's just really fixing that Achilles or whatever he's got going on with the Butterfingers.
What did you have?
Have you seen this Shane Gillis comedy special where he's talking about his cousin that's making grilled cheeses, and that they're like all the time they're like, "What's he doing? They're making grilled cheeses at night." That's Everett making the PB&Js. He's making them at night.
No, make them in the morning.
We're literally waiting for him this morning. He's like, I just got to put my boots on. But no, he's sitting there making peanut butter and jellies.
That's why he gets up an hour before you tell him to.
Does Brandon wait on you too? Making
No,
peanut butter
I
and
wait
jellies?
on Brandon.
No way.
I swear
don't
to you.
believe that.
Every
I do
morning,
not believe that.
every morning you're out there and you get everything ready, and he was like, "Hold on, I gotta go inside for a minute."
I got an Uncrustable to give you.
He's dropping an Uncrustable off.
That's what it is. So he has early morning bowel movement. That's what you're saying.
Can't do that before I get there. You gotta wait until you're running out the door.
Wow.
Hey, it'd be like that sometimes.
All right, what do we got now?
Outlaw moment of the
Outlaw
day.
moment of the day. America deserves a new light beer. Outlaw Mile High light beer brewed by Tivoli's Brewing Company in Denver, Colorado. The official beer of Heartland Waterfowl. Learn more at outlawbeer.com. It is available at most retailers. I like to get it at Price Chopper around Kansas City area. If you're around there, they have it all the time. But yeah, if they don't have it at your local liquor store or grocery store, you should probably ask them and visit outlawbeer.com.
Yes, sir. Everett, what was your outlaw moment of the day?
After spending a few days up here doing some buddy hunting and everything, my outlaw moment of the day was not seeing a single speckled bellied goose.
Yeah.
Yep.
That made me happy.
Man, it's one of those things where they can really turn a good hunt into a bad hunt real quick.
We had some fun hunts with them here for a couple days before everybody got here and everything, but yeah, it was time to be done.
They just don't, I don't know, they just act funky up here. They don't act like you're in Arkansas, and maybe it's because you're not getting like the big spins, right? It's hard when you shot them.
yeah,
When you guys shot them,
Yeah.
you know.
No big spins.
It's
Full
just
disclosure. Full disclosure.
you took huge numbers of birds to be able to try to get to like 4 or 5 man limit worth of specs and stuff. And we didn't hit a limit every day by no means, but
No.
Yeah, Everett was up here fun hunting with some buddies. I was up here fun hunting some buddies. Dakota and Q came up and fun hunted for a couple days. So
yeah.
Not
Don't
mad
get
at
us
it.
wrong. A lot of the spec shots
it
were
was-
over the top belly shots.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a lot of finishing in the hole.
you're shooting
feet
the
down.
you were shooting
had-
the rats.
we
were
had
shooting
some.
the bellies.
You were
bro.
shooting the rats.
Yeah.
The no tar belly
Say
rats.
that the first day that you guys weren't here, we had them finishing.
Yeah.
And everything. But we had some finishing
We had
and
a few.
everything, but
Yeah.
I mean, don't get us wrong. We weren't sky busting, but 30
You're
yards,
saving the ducks for us.
30 yards over top of your head, you're going to take that shot.
You're saving the ducks and the Uncrustables for us.
Didn't really have a whole lot for ducks. I mean, there were always some ducks mixed in with them and everything, but not huge numbers of them. What you've been finding here is better separation of ducks. I mean,
I spent a lot of time driving around to find that.
yeah. And I mean, we found a couple pockets of just straight ducks here this morning or this afternoon, but
Yeah.
Not gonna lie,
just not
at
what you
about
want.
30 minutes before sunset tonight, butthole was a little puckered of what are we gonna do in the morning?
You and me both.
And I knocked on the right farmer's door that just so happened to have the guy's cell phone number and said, you know what? I'll just call him for you right now. And I said, great, let's talk to him right now.
What a guy. Shout
Yeah.
out, no free shout
And then
out
he
to
gave
that
me
dude.
that,
It was
I
a
don't
lady.
know, this guy's got a, someone else might be hunting it. And I was like, yeah, that's a no. Let me get your number. I'll call you back. Usually it's not calling you back. Well, the guy called back. He said, hey, these guys aren't going to be in there. You can hunt it in the morning. And at that point in time, before that, I was like, I'm not sure what we're going to do tomorrow.
It was going to be start making some phone calls.
Yeah. So we kind of lucked out on that, and we got a good spot in the morning. Supposed to be sunny, south wind at 0 miles an hour. It's saying 5, but up here 5 means 0. So we don't know exactly where we want to set up because it's so far down in that hole, but we're going to find something.
Yeah, we'll look at OnX and figure it out.
It should be pretty good. And
What was your outlaw moment of the day, Logan?
my outlaw moment of the day is probably what everyone else is going to say, other than Everett not shooting specs. But it's not every day. It's not every day that you get to shoot gadwalls in a field, and that's fun. It's just something a little bit different. I would say that's my outlaw moment of the day. And the other thing is, it's not every day that you get to hunt with a guy that I've hunted with for 15 years before the show was even started. So.
No doubt.
Anytime I get to hop in the blind with Everett and give him grief for missing or whatever the case may be, it's always a good time.
For anything and everything.
Just like old times.
I thoroughly enjoyed that this morning. That was fun. Those hunts like that are good for the soul. That's for sure.
Nothing's changed.
Dustin was texting me, and he was like, he said that could have stayed home in Kansas and shot gadwalls, but he was in a marsh, and I responded, I was like, yeah, but you're in a marsh, we're in a field.
Yeah, way different.
Field.
I'm surprised
field
he's even
gaddies.
trying to shoot some ducks.
Yeah.
Teal. They had to be teal. He's a
Dakota?
teal guy.
No, it was a bag of nothing but gadwalls is what he shot.
No
Twinsies.
Yep.
Wow. We traveled 12 hours. He traveled 12 minutes.
DT.
I have a outlaw moment and a non-outlaw moment.
I'll probably say the non one. Sorry.
Okay, the non-outlaw moment was whenever we got permission from the farmer that he said, yeah, you guys can go through the gate. And I had already looked at the gate, and I was like, it's locked. And then whenever we pulled up there, Logan was like, maybe it's dummy locked. And I went up there and looked at it, and I was like, yeah, it's locked. And then I go back to the truck, and he's like, dude, I think there's a clip up there. I don't think it's actually locked. And then I looked back up there, walked back up, and I'm like, I'm the dummy. I literally am the dummy because I went and looked at it and was like, yeah, it's locked. And then it wasn't.
They lock gates like that just for you.
Yeah, so I was the dummy for the dummy lock. So that was my non-outlaw moment.
And watch we go back tomorrow and it's going to be locked. We're not going to be able to get in.
Right.
Yeah.
You got us all right.
No, but I found a second gate.
There you go.
It's not an easy gate to get to, but I found another one.
We're good then.
And then outlaw moment, I think it's always clutch whenever at the end of a hunt when you only need 2 birds. It was so cool that we were like had a couple birds working and this was happening and that was happening. And then all of a sudden, like right out in front, 2 birds came in and finished. And then we were just pop, pop, done.
Yep.
And sometimes whenever you get a group to finish or something like that, then you have to be selective or whatever. But me and Q were just like, all right, here's our 2 birds, bing, bing, and done. So I like that.
It was kind of that way all morning long where, you're looking over your shoulders like, there's some working, there's some swinging, blah, blah, blah. And then you turn around and look and they were in the hole.
It's
like you should have been looking in the hole the
we
whole
had
time.
2 or 3 times when there was a group of 4 or 6 like backpedaling over the mojos and we're looking behind us at the mallards like that are just doing nothing.
Dang mallards.
Yeah.
What about you?
My outlaw moment of the day, one's not very good for. I got 2. One of them would be when we finished the hunt, and then my other one would be like your first volley, and you fired all 3 shots, and I dropped the 2 birds that were in there. That was pretty cool.
Hold on. Let me add to that. When you missed this morning your first couple shots, you looked over at Q and you said something. What did you say to him?
I said play some NBA YoungBoy so I can get this up. Dude, I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes when you come out of the camera and I go and sit in the gun, I can't find it. And then all of a sudden I'm like, okay, that's how you shoot again.
Oh, I remember.
And
Yeah.
dude, this morning it was like I'm like I don't know what to do different. I don't know what else to change. I'm aiming as hard as I can. I'm like,
for what it's worth, and I think we showed it earlier. There was a time when I hit a bird 3 times and I literally watched feathers come off of it every single time.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, I'm really hitting that thing. And they're just a lot further away with that wind. And I mean, it was ripping today.
They get out quick. You're calling shots when they're right there and they're killable and all that stuff. But, you get that wind. As soon as you pop out, They're a long ways away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to get them quick.
What do we got left? Oh, we have a
Tonight's
giveaway?
Scout.
Oh,
We kind of touched on that.
yeah,
but
we touched on tonight's scout a little bit. So we got a good spot tomorrow. Took us eternity to figure out how to get permission to hunt this, but we lucked out. The conditions are okay, right? It's just a typical North Dakota day in the morning. Not that cold, no wind. There should be some sun. So, yeah, it is what it is. It's a bunch of mallards, and I'm sure there's going to be some field gadwalls again if we don't want to be patient. But yeah, it should be good. I don't know why it shouldn't be.
Well, it's like I said earlier too. I was like, I guarantee you could set up in any spot around where we hunted.
There's
this
enough
morning.
moving around, right?
Yeah.
And it's not just in that one vicinity. Like, it's a couple mile section that the birds are kind of moving around pretty good from water to water. One of the things that did save us today was we were by that slough, and they wanted to get on that slough, and I think we were pulling some of those birds off that slough. But yeah, so that's what we got tomorrow. We're kind of sitting down in a hole anyways. It's hard to see off the road, so we're going to have to go in there and try to figure out what we're doing in the morning because we couldn't get up in there tonight. So that's going to take a little bit of time. Landowner said we got to use the Honda in the morning, so we got to buggy everything in.
I think it's going to help out that we got sun tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, we've been up here for how many days now and seen the sun? Not at all.
Not seeing
And
it.
that, you know, we're not going to have the wind, but you're going to have the sun, and I think the birds are probably a little bit anxious to start moving around
Yeah.
Yep.
and stuff.
So what do we got? Dakota, you want to talk about our giveaway?
For the giveaway, if those of you that don't know, we've got a new online store. We've got a bunch of new hats, a bunch of new shirts, and a bunch of new hoodies. And what we're going to do is a prize pack with a shirt, a hoodie, and a hat. So make sure that you go in, comment on one of the videos of the podcast, and then also you can get entered in on commenting on the actual video that it's going to get posted not this Sunday, but the next Sunday. Let me
Yes.
find the date real quick.
That is the 9th or 10th. That would be the 10th.
No,
Nope.
not the 10th. The
It would be the
17th.
November
17th.
17th.
November 17th, when that edit comes out, make sure that you comment on that as well as the podcast, and then we'll give somebody a HW swag pack.
Perfect. Yep. So
Couple hats, maybe some shirts.
like,
and
subscribe,
hoodie. Yep.
comment, HW Swag Pack.
Yep.
November 17th is when that episode will come out. And obviously you'll be able to tune in with all these podcasts and everything during the week and see how we're doing, see how we've done tomorrow. And then Joe Palumbo will join us on Wednesday and Thursday.
Is he hunting tomorrow morning?
Nope.
He can't do it, huh?
Clients.
That
Last
we-
day.
We're working man.
Yeah, last day for the working man, and he's going to make the move and come join us. As soon
Sweet.
as he gets done, he's going to come down and join us. So we got to make sure we have something good on Wednesday.
Deal.
Sweet.
That, and we want some feedback on the comments on how we're doing it this year by doing one film at the end of the week instead of doing
daily
a daily
recaps, yeah.
Yep.
edit. So throw some comments in there. Let us know what you like, what you don't like, what you want to see, what you want to see more of. We look at all of those comments. We try to respond to every comment that's in there. So if you are commenting, we see it, and we love to chat and interact with everybody. So make sure you're commenting.
Sounds good. Stay tuned for tomorrow and see if this hunt is as good as we have talked it up to be.
Another greasy Gadwall shoot.
Yeah, we'll shoot the Gadwalls all day, baby.
Yeah.